Hey world, welcome back to Keats Universe. Now some of you may be new to this channel and have joined me since my last video, Why I Am No Longer an Atheist, so welcome. A little sum up for you, however, this channel is an activist channel. I do focus on human rights and animal rights. I do encourage open debate and exchanging of ideas. So with that said, I got a question in the form of a comment from a user called Andrew's Art. So Andrew would like to know my thoughts on Bill Maher's position that liberalism has gone out of control. Okay, a few things. I used to be a big Bill Maher fan. I am no longer a fan of his. Personally, I don't agree with a lot of his takes on a lot of the issues that he talks about, and quite frankly, I find him quite arrogant. The other issue I should preface is that I don't exactly identify as a liberal. Again, this is something I used to in the past, but that is no longer the case. Politically, I identify as a leftist, or socialist, or democratic socialist. A liberal to me is someone who supports capitalism, and the fact of the matter is, well, I don't. So please bear in mind that you are not getting an opinion from a liberal, you're getting the opinion from a democratic socialist. I just want that to be laid out and to be very clear and very transparent. Anywho, Maher has made multiple commentaries regarding the left and liberals going too far. Dave Rubin has made some similar commentaries, and so has Jordan Peterson. For the most part, most of their arguments boil down to this: cancel culture, or woke culture, going too far. A minority within the left have overreacted to something or another and have therefore misrepresented the entirety of the left, and therefore the entirety of the left must be like this. Not understanding transgender issues. So in my opinion, the vast majority of leftists and liberals haven't gone too far. It's just that now we are widening the spectrum of what we know and what we understand, especially with understanding and regarding certain issues like gender identity, for example. And I'll be honest, there is still a lot we don't know. However, we know now a lot more than we did previously. The same was the case for sexual orientation many years ago. Same-sex relationships were always seen as bizarre and strange until we became educated on the facts of the issue. And sure, we still do have homophobic individuals who make claims based on debunked perceptions, such as the false perception that homosexuality is a mental illness, which it's not. These are the very same claims we see today directed at the trans community. The fact is, there are still a lot of issues we don't know and don't understand regarding gender identity. We do, however, know that gender and sex are not the same thing. This is a fact that is so overlooked, regardless to the amount of times that we constantly remind transphobic individuals of this clear differentiation between these two terms. Yet they choose to ignore it. Now, in regards to cancel culture, I personally don't believe cancel culture exists, at least not in the way that many would perceive it to exist. I don't believe an unpopular opinion or even a questionable act will necessarily end someone's career. And J.K. Rowling is a fine example of this. She's made some incredibly transphobic statements over the years and continues to do so. And yet she is still selling books, has Harry Potter attractions in various different theme parks, a Harry Potter video game in which she does earn royalties on, and an upcoming Harry Potter TV series. Now, that does not by any means that us on the left should not make a conscious decision on whether we choose to support her. That is our right to decide what we choose to spend our hard-earned cash on. I personally think boycotting is totally acceptable once it's done sensibly. I don't think burning Harry Potter books really helps anything, which unfortunately there have been a minority of bad actors on the left who have done this. And by the way, conservatives have used the very same tactics and continue to use the very same tactics. In fact, a few years ago, conservatives in the US took it upon themselves to boycott Keurig coffee machines by videoing themselves smashing up their Keurig coffee machines. Giving a corporation or a creator money for a product and then destroying that product doesn't alter the fact that you have already financially supported that creator or corporation. It doesn't resolve anything by smashing up what you've already paid for. But deciding to no longer financially support a creator or corporation is a choice each and every individual and consumer has a right making. We do get to decide what we spend our money on or what we don't spend our money on. I decided not to purchase Hogwarts Legacy, and instead I purchased a remastered version of Skyrim, which in my opinion is a much better game anyway. And to be fair, there was a lot of backlash against leftists making the conscious decision not to purchase this video game, which we have a right to do. We have a right to not purchase it. You can't force a person to spend their money on something they don't support. So when it comes to a minority on the left acting or behaving in a manner that is questionable or overreacting to certain things or certain issues, harshly judging the left for this is quite the double standard, and this is something I have seen Maher do on quite a few occasions. Fact of the matter is, we can make generalizations all day long about any group, be it the left, the right, the center right, the LGBTQ, the list goes on. All this does is provide us with a tunnel vision of the whole picture, and that quite frankly isn't helpful to either side. It just keeps us all in the dark and not really truly understanding the entire true consensus of any one group or groups. So all in all, the left hasn't really changed. Society may have changed, and we do our best to keep up with how society is evolving. And what we know about the world scientifically changes based on new information. It was only approximately a month ago when I posted this toot. Many of us look at the attitudes held by past generations, particularly attitudes of the 1950s, and we say to ourselves, can you believe how sexist, racist, and homophobic people were back then? 10 to 20 years from now, we'll be saying the very same thing about the anti-woke brigade. Being progressive is how we grow and evolve as human beings. Being regressive cripples our humanity. So that is why it is my position that the left have not become too radical or changed dramatically. We are discovering or have discovered new information that we didn't obtain previously. And most of the left are evolving with that new information. But everyone else hasn't quite got with the program yet. So thanks again for the topic suggestion. Anyone else want to leave a topic suggestion, by all means, post me a comment down below and I will certainly consider it. As a side note, I know my audience is still relatively small, but I want to try to facilitate video responses in a more structured fashion. So if you want to participate in contributing to the conversations I have here and also on my main channel, Nerdy Keith, you can do so by posting a video response to my Nerdy Keith subreddit. There will be a link down below in the description box where you can submit your video responses to there. And until next time, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Freedom, peace, and love. Bye, guys. Hey everyone, don't forget to follow me on social media. I can be found on Mastadon, Facebook, Tumblr, and Reddit.